I live alone in a small unit above the main terminal room. No television, no internet, just tapes, hundreds of them. The tapes started arriving 6 months ago. No return address, no explanation. Sometimes, just barely, something would move.
You are listening to the Fearcast. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
I'm 33 years old, and I run a long-forgotten telecom relay station in the outskirts of southern Idaho. The facility, Station B, was decommissioned years ago, but someone still has to monitor the few remaining signal test lines that pass through its circuitry. Most people don't even know it exists. That's how I like it. The building is squat and square, nestled in a stretch of flat land surrounded by fog-thick forests. It hums constantly, not from any identifiable source, just a persistent drone in the air, like the place is breathing through the walls. I live alone in a small unit above the main terminal room. No television, no internet, just tapes, hundreds of them. The tapes started arriving 6 months ago. No return address, no explanation. Unmarked black VHS cassettes, bundled in weathered brown mailers, and left in the facility's out-of-use Dropbox. The first few were just static. Then, they changed. I'd plug one into the old console deck, a rusty Panasonic reel loader hooked up to a CRT, and hit play. Each began the same, color bars. Then a low fade into a location I didn't recognize. Dim rooms, empty stairwells, vacant intersections in cities I couldn't name. Grainy, desaturated, liminal. There were never any people, just these dead places. Except, sometimes, just barely, something would move. At first, I convinced myself it was a trick of the tape, glitching frames, tracking errors, but it kept happening. In the far corner of a motel lobby, reflected in a broken mirror in a laundromat, a shadow, an outline, standing still, tense, always watching. One tape stood out. I loaded it at 2:13 a.m., a time I now avoid instinctively. It opened on a fog-choked overpass. You could see the edges of a collapsed guardrail, as if something massive had tumbled through. In the middle of the frame stood a payphone, intact, but vibrating faintly, like it was being dialed by invisible fingers. The screen cut to black, then text. You used to answer. No sound, just those words. Then the tape ejected itself. I swear I didn't touch a thing. Since then, they come weekly. Thicker envelopes, longer tapes. And they're not just locations anymore. They're recordings of rooms I recognize. The staff hallway I pass every day. The kitchenette in the upper dorms. The corridor with the emergency exit that never opens. Filmed from angles I can't reach. Places I know, but not at the times I remember being in them. And then came the footage of me. One tape showed me sleeping, the camera positioned from the ceiling, swaying gently like it was hanging from a light fixture. I slept on my side, blanket half kicked off, jaw slack, hands curled awkwardly at my chest. I watched myself sleep for 11 full minutes before the screen cut to static. The next day, I checked the room for any sign of tampering. Nothing. I tried to convince myself I was wrong, that it wasn't me, that it couldn't be. But the worn gray t-shirt I wore in the footage had a hole under the left sleeve. So did the one in my closet. A few weeks later, something new arrived, an audio cassette. No label, just a faint smell of ozone on the tape. I played it on an old deck I'd repaired the previous winter. It started with static, then a voice, flat, genderless, as if filtered through dozens of tones. Not quite electronic, not quite human. "You forgot the door," it said. Then, silence. A click. And beneath the silence, layered and almost imperceptible, I heard my own voice, not speaking, muttering, looping some nonsense phrase I couldn't understand. I played it 10 times before realizing it wasn't nonsense. Frantic. "Why aren't you answering? Why won't you answer? Why aren't you?" Abruptly, I shut it off. That night, the power in the station flickered. For exactly 4 minutes, every monitor turned on by itself, showing different black and white feeds. Camera angles I had not installed, views of hallways, stairwells, and the boiler room, as if the building had grown extra eyes. One of the feeds showed a figure standing at the foot of the stairwell, face obscured by blur, body wrong in subtle ways, too still, too symmetrical. I blinked. It vanished. I didn't sleep that night. I sat by the loading bay doors, flashlight in one hand, an old emergency radio in the other. I listened to the static of the emergency band for hours. At 3:47 a.m., I heard faint breathing. Just once. I reported it to what remains of corporate oversight. A voicemail. Resigned voice. They never called back. Then, 2 nights ago, a package arrived, bigger than the rest, a box. Inside, stacked with unnatural precision, were 17 tapes, each with a date, each labeled with my name. The earliest was from 1994, disbelieving. I was 2 years old. I've watched 15 of them. They don't follow a timeline. They're like dreams, a little too coherent, then not coherent at all. They show me in places I've never been, a grocery store I don't remember, a cul-de-sac with houses that feel half-rendered, incomplete. Me, riding a tricycle past a stop sign that spins slowly on its own. In every single tape, the figure is there, ominous, closer, sharper, still no face. I played the 16th tape an hour ago. It shows the interior of this station, room B12, where we keep the analog backup servers. The lights flicker. I appear in frame, walking in. I sit at the terminal. I type something. Confused, One remains. It's sitting on the deck right now. I haven't pressed play yet. I'm afraid this one won't end. Afraid it'll show something I can't unsee. Or worse, that it won't show anything at all. I've started hearing a tone just under the range of human hearing. A sub-bass vibration that makes my bones ache. It's not tinnitus, it's coming from the walls. The last tape is labeled simply now. If I don't make another entry in the logs, assume the tape showed what it needed to show. And if you're watching this, don't come looking for Station B. Some signals were never meant to be found.